Walking back into Julian Crane's world felt like stepping onto a battlefield, his battlefield, where money and power clashed with betrayal behind closed doors. 3 years I ran from this, from him, from the way I broke him. But now I was back, and this time, I wasn't here with a question. I was here with the truth, and the kind of fear that crawls under your skin. Marcus Vale, the snake coiled at the center of Julian's empire, was ready to strike. And somehow, I was the only one who saw it. But how do you save someone who might hate the sight of you? How do you warn the man whose heart you shattered? When every glance from him feels like punishment. The air was heavy, with ambition, with silence, with the weight of every unspoken thing between us. Julian looked at me like I was something he'd buried, like I didn't belong anymore. But I couldn't leave. Not this time. Not with his life on the line. Marcus stood there too, smiling like he already owned the room, like the knife was already in Julian's back. I had one shot, one breath to break through years of silence and pain. Would he listen, or would his anger drown everything I came to say? Julian, you're in danger. Marcus is betraying you. I have proof. Your company, your life, is at risk. Miss Voss, is it? This is a private meeting. Your theatrics? Not welcome here. Security. Let her speak. But make it fast, Elena. You lost the right to barge into my world 3 years ago. I know what I did. I left you in pieces. But I'm here now because someone's trying to finish what I started. Marcus is moving money. Rigging deals. Project Nexus Phase 2. Check the records. He's setting you up. Conspiracies now, Elena? Really? Julian, she's your past. A bitter one. Don't let her drag this board into a mess of fiction. You left me, Elena. No explanation. No warning. Why the hell should I trust you now? Why now? Trust. That's the whole game, isn't it? And if you've been watching without subscribing, how can we trust you? Fix it. Hit the button. Unless you prefer watching heartbreak without lifting a finger. In which case, tell us why in the comments. Because you're worth saving. Because I know I hurt you. But I won't let him destroy you. Please, just look at the evidence. His words hit harder than I expected. Not angry, wounded. He had every right to hate me, to doubt me. But behind his eyes was something else. That flicker I used to know. The man I loved was still there, buried beneath the walls I helped build. Marcus was circling like a shark, and I was the only one shouting shark in a room full of suits. But trust doesn't come easy, especially when you're the one who broke it. Julian, this is beneath you. She's just noise. We got a company to run. She's not part of it. A distraction? Tell them about the offshore accounts. Marcus, tell them how you're setting him up to fail. Or should I? Enough. Give me the drive. I'll look at it. But don't think this changes anything. It's not about us. It's about you. And I'm not letting him take everything from you. In that boardroom, I didn't just see a man I once loved. I saw a man teetering at the edge, broken, bleeding where no one else could see. And I knew I had to fight for him, even if he didn't want me to, even if he never forgave me. Because Marcus wasn't just dangerous. He was close. And Julian had no idea. I'd broken his heart. But I wasn't about to let him lose his life. Not when I still had breath left in me. Because that's what the broken do. We fight through the pain. We face the fallout. And when we can, we come back. Truth doesn't knock. It waits. In the corners you're too scared to look. And that night, in a warehouse that smelled like rust and secrets, I found it. Marcus Vale's plan. Not just sabotage. Murder. This wasn't about power anymore. It was personal. A direct hit. And Julian had no idea. 3 years ago, I left him bleeding. Now I was racing to stop the bleeding before it killed him. How do you stop a man who's planned the perfect betrayal? Worse, how do you warn the man who has every reason not to listen? The place was a maze. Corridors of lies stacked in wooden boxes. One lead from the drive. One buried email. One warehouse on the edge of nowhere. But this was it. Schematics. Flight plan. Private jet. Rigged. Julian was supposed to be on it 3 days from now. And I felt like I couldn't breathe. How do you carry that? Knowing the man you walked away from might die because you weren't there to stop it? Back in his world, the truth was sinking in. I'd given him the drive, a grenade wrapped in everything we never said. Marcus had been at his side for years. I was just the ghost who blew everything up. Trust was ashes, and I was asking him to hold fire in his hands and believe it wouldn't burn him. But I had to reach him, even if the only line left between us was static. Julian, did you look at the drive? Yeah, I looked. Offshore accounts. Emails. Marcus is dirty. But why should I trust you, Elena? You walked away. You destroyed me. I know I did. I'll carry that forever. But you're in danger now. This isn't just theft, Julian. He's trying to kill you. Your jet, it's rigged. I'm standing in the middle of the proof. My jet? No, Marcus wouldn't. He would. And he has. Flight 7/30. 3 days from now. The wiring's altered. Emergency overrides are rerouted. It's a crash waiting to happen. You have to believe me. You just heard the jet is wired to explode. You're still watching. You still haven't subscribed? Then be brave. Go to the comments and say it out loud. I watched them die and didn't subscribe. Or save yourself the guilt. Click that button. If you're lying, Elena, I swear, I'm not. Meet me tomorrow. I'll show you everything. Just stay away from Marcus until then. His voice, even when it was angry, it hit the same place it always did. A bruise I never let heal. He was starting to believe. I could hear it, just a crack in the doubt. But that's all I needed. 3 days. That's all I had to stop Marcus. To save Julian. To make sure this time. I didn't show up too late. But in that warehouse, with storm wind howling and shadows closing in, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Fear. The real kind. The kind that tells you everything's on the line. The truth was out now. Marcus Vale wasn't just a traitor. He was a predator. And Julian was his prey. I'd broken a billionaire's heart. But I wasn't going to let his life be the next casualty. Not if I could stop it. Not while I was still breathing. Because even in the darkest corners, the broken keep fighting. The broken keep hoping. The broken come back. The airfield felt like a war zone. But no one could see it but me. Truth and betrayal were about to collide. And somewhere in the middle of it was Julian. That jet? It wasn't a plane anymore. It was a coffin rigged to fail. Marcus Vale's final move. And me? I was running. Running through wind and lightning to save the man I left behind 3 years ago. The man whose heart I shattered. And now, his life was the one breaking. Unless I stopped it. How do you outrun a perfect betrayal? How do you save someone who has every reason not to believe a word you say? Every second in that room felt like a lifetime. The schematics, they weren't theory anymore. They were real. Marcus had wired the fuel system. A spark waiting to swallow Julian whole. A technical failure. A clean death. And Marcus would walk away with it all. Crane Technologies. The empire. The legacy. I'd broken Julian's heart. But I wasn't going to let Marcus take his life. My hands shook as I hacked into the system. My blood on the keyboard. My breath catching with every click. One mistake, and he's gone. To new beginnings, Julian. After this trip, Crane Technologies will finally soar. Under new leadership. What's that supposed to mean? I saw the files. The offshore accounts. The deals. You've been playing me. Playing you? Come on. You're paranoid, Julian. Probably that ex of yours, Elena, stirring up ghosts. She's good at that, isn't she? Leave Elena out of this. If you're betraying me, Marcus, I swear, what do you do, Julian? You took everything from me. My ideas. My future. This company should have been mine. And after this flight, it will be. His words hit me like a gut punch. This wasn't about business. It never was. It was revenge. Years of resentment. Boiled down to this one flight. Julian built an empire. Marcus wanted to bury it. With him inside. And I was still running. Through fire. through rain, through every mistake I ever made. Because I wasn't just trying to stop a crash. I was trying to save the only man I ever loved. What is this? What did you do to the jet? It's over, Julian. This bird's going down. And I'll be the only one left standing. Julian, get OFF the jet. The fuel system's rigged. It's going to crash. Elena, you're here? Stop the jet, now. You felt that? Then do something about it. Subscribe. Because the people who just watch this moment and scroll away, they're not survivors. They're spectators. And if you're one of them, go to the comments and confess. Well, wait. The second that jet stopped, everything did. The panic, the fear, even my body. I collapsed, right there on the concrete, blood in my hands, rain on my face. And then, Julian, his eyes met mine. And for one breath, just one, the world held still. I'd broken him, but I'd save him too. Was that enough? I didn't know, but I knew this. I fought for him, for us, for the pieces we left behind. His hands were on me, solid, shaking, real, and in that moment, there were no secrets, no empires, no betrayal, just us. Marcus's plan, ruined, exposed. But the real fight, it wasn't over. It never was. Because the worst kind of war is the one between two broken hearts. I saved his life. But could I save us? Could anything still grow from this wreckage? I didn't know. But I knew this. The broken don't walk away. They fight. They bleed. And if they're lucky, they find each other again. Even in the storm. Even in the dark. Whispering for a second chance. After the storm, there's this quiet, not silence, something softer, like the city is holding its breath with you. That night, on a rooftop above it all, I stood next to Julian Crane, the man I'd broken, the man I'd saved. We'd lived through betrayal, danger, hell. And now, it was just us. No lies, no guards. Two broken souls, standing in the wreckage of our past. Asking the question neither of us knew how to say out loud. Can we find our way back? Elena, I don't even know where to start. You saved my life. I should be thanking you. But you don't owe me anything. I came back because I had to. I couldn't let you die. Not after everything. Everything. You mean when you left? When you thought I was some monster. You broke me, Elena. Do you even know what that felt like? I know. I thought you were part of Nexus. I thought you lied. I should have stayed. I should have fought for you. Instead, I walked. And I'll carry that forever. I wasn't honest either. I hid things. I thought I was protecting you, keeping you out of Marcus's mess. But all I did was push you away. His words opened something in me. Something I didn't know was still locked. He wasn't hiding to hurt me. He was trying to fix it. To fix us. While I was out there thinking the worst, he was inside the fire, trying not to drag me in. I'd seen his initials on a page and assumed betrayal, but he'd been fighting the whole time, fighting for us. And maybe now we could start again, not where we left off, but right here, in the quiet. I broke you. I know I did, but saving you, it wasn't just guilt. It was because you're worth it. You always were. I never stopped loving you. Elena, even when I hated you, I loved you. But I don't know if we can go back. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just start here. Two broken people, trying to be whole. Trying sounds good. For you, I'd try anything. In that moment, I felt a shift. Not back to what we were. Something new. Not perfect. Not fixed. But real. We'd broken each other. But we'd also saved each other. And now, we were rebuilding, not with grand gestures or promises, but with quiet hands and whisper forgiveness. I'd broken a billionaire's heart, but I'd also saved his life. And maybe now, maybe we were saving each other, one whisper at a time, because that's what the broken do. They face the past. They hold the hurt. And if they're lucky, they heal. Dawn in New York feels like a promise, a quiet vow wrapped in light and motion, a chance to start again. to carry your scars like armor, not shame. Julian and I, we had walked through shadows. We'd burned. We'd broken. But we were still standing. And in that first light of day, I felt it. We'd made it through. Not perfect. Not whole. But true. How do you say goodbye to someone who still lives in your soul? You don't. You just learn to let the broken parts shine. The city pulsed like it always had. Loud, alive, unforgiving, and somehow beautiful. Julian and I weren't who we were 3 years ago, when love was a wildfire that couldn't be tamed. We'd lost each other, then found something else, something quieter, a strength stitched from all the ways we'd fallen apart. Maybe we weren't lovers anymore. Maybe we never would be again. But what we were was real and enough. You're going to be okay, Julian. Stronger than you know. Because of you. You saved me. And not just my life. You reminded me who I am. And you saved me too. I was running from everything. You gave me a reason to stop. We're not broken anymore, are we? Just different. Different, but good. Take care of yourself, Julian. Saying goodbye wasn't an ending. It was a beginning. We'd face what we feared most. Each other, the truth, ourselves, and found something stronger than perfection. Honesty. I thought breaking Julian's heart was my greatest failure. But it led us here, to healing. He would rebuild his world. And I'd find mine, carrying him in the quiet of my chest. That's what New York teaches you. The beauty of its cracks, its scars, its endless, reckless new beginnings. And in all that noise, we found our whisper. In our brokenness, we didn't fall apart. We found each other, not in fairy tales or perfect endings, but in the fight, in the redemption, in the silence after the storm. We weren't a love story. Not anymore. We were something harder, stronger, truer, a story of survival, of choosing to return, again and again, even when it hurts. I broke a billionaire's heart, but I saved his life, and he saved mine. The lesson was simple, but it changed me. Our cracks let the light in. Our scars tell the truth, and if we're brave enough to listen, they show us how to begin again. So to the broken, I say, keep whispering, keep fighting, keep shining, because your story isn't over. It's just beginning. You made it to the end. You breathed with us, broke with us. So if you're still sitting there with no red button pressed, maybe you don't believe in second chances. And if that's true, say it out loud in the comments. The rest of us, we subscribed when the first scar started healing.